Top of the morning, Pulaa's Peace Saints. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. So this week we have been talking about the 6 upside down principles for success, and so far we've covered 2, and that is the first one, decide who you are. The second one is reality is overrated, and today we're going to talk about forget motivation to get ahead. Forget motivation if you want to be successful. So, for a long, long time, I used to wonder, but how do successful people do it? How do people wake up every morning and get themselves motivated to do what they want to do? I mean, I wanted to lose weight, I wanted to have an exercise routine, but I would do something for a week and then rest during the weekend. And when I'm supposed to start the next Monday, then I'm tired, I'm exhausted, then I wouldn't go to the gym. And then I would wonder, but how do people who keep going to the gym get the motivation and energy to do so every single day? I just couldn't understand it, because for me, I went to gym or I exercised based on how I felt that day. If I felt like I had energy, then I'd go to the gym. But if I felt like I was tired, exhausted, then I wouldn't, because my body needed some rest, I felt. So for a long time I was asking myself, what is going on? What don't I have that other people had? And I remember the one time I was sitting with an old lady at the gym in Hartis, and she said to me, and I asked her, but every time I come to the gym, you're here, and I disappear for 3 months. When I come back, you're still here. Where do you get the motivation to keep doing this? I mean, she looked like she was in her either late, I would rather say 50s, in her 50s, maybe early 50s. And she said to me, I'm not always motivated to come here. I just know that when I get out of gym, I've got the energy to do things that I need to do throughout the day. So even when I have to crawl out of bed to come to the gym, I do it because I know that if I have to do everything that I need to do, then I'm gonna need the energy. And usually after gym, even though I came in tired after gym, I walk out feeling energized and ready for the day. So that's why I do it. Sometimes I literally have to crawl myself to the gym. I mean, that was mind-blowing for me. That changed my perspective so much. That gave me new drive. It was a principle that I could apply to anything besides exercise, but to any area of my life that I've been struggling with thinking I need motivation to do such. But then she opened up my eyes to new realities, to new way of thinking, to a new perspective and outlook in life. I mean, I was excited when I realized what she just told me, because it lifted the load off my shoulders. I realized that, hey, that is exactly how I feel. I don't have to act according to how I feel anymore. If I make a decision, I must just act. It doesn't matter how I feel, because eventually my feelings will catch on. My feelings will eventually follow if I make a decision and actually act on it. So I just wanted to remind you, you know what? I don't know whether you are in my position or where I used to be. If you are, I'm telling you, nobody ever has energy, motivation, and will to do what they have to do 365 days of the year. But they decide and they act on the decision no matter how they feel, knowing that the consequences of the decision that they make, they will be able to live with. So what you need to be asking yourself is not whether you feel like doing something or not that you intended to do. What you need to be asking yourself is will you be able to live with the consequences of the decision that you're making right at this minute? I mean, in my case, if like I was explaining with exercise, now I need to ask myself every morning, if I'm feeling tired, okay, if I decide to just sleep in and do nothing, not even 10 minutes of exercise, will I be able to live with myself, or will I regret it later in the day? So if I feel like I will not like the results of sleeping in, then I wake up and then I just do it. Sometimes I tell myself, you know what? I am tired today. I'm just going to do 10 minutes of workout. As long as I do something. That's the trick. As long as you do something every day. Normally I do an hour. But when I'm tired, then I'll wake up and say, you know what? I'm exhausted. I can barely open my eyes in the morning. So I'm going to do 10 minutes of exercise. But guess what? Immediately when you start, you don't stop. I end up doing a whole hour of exercise because you know what? Your feelings, I've come to realize, will always catch on to the decisions and actions that you take. So, if you have been wondering where I get the motivation every single day to come, show up, and do these videos, before the everyday videos, I used to wake up and do these messages, write these messages, and post them everywhere. It's not that I'm up and bouncy every morning, but when I wake up sometimes, I normally wake up at 4, but it will get to 6, 7, and I'm still like, half asleep. But you know what? I decide that I've made a commitment and I'm going to act on it. And there are just too many people waiting on these messages for me to care about myself and my own feelings. So when the why of doing whatever you're doing is strong enough, you'll find that you are more committed, you are more willing to do the things that you have decided to do. So first of all, ask yourself, are you going to live with the results of your decision? And second of all, why exactly did you decide to do what you wanted to do? If the why is strong enough, and if you like the results, then you'll be committed to doing what you need to do. So remember, in order to be successful, in order to move ahead, forget motivation. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach.